Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of High Top Sports. We are in the studio today with a special guest, Knijeah Harris from ING, Florida. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you for having me.
Dude, no, appreciate you, man. It's an absolute honor to have you on the show. It's exciting stuff to have you coming to Florida. I've been seeing you tweet. You've been actively recruiting, which is awesome to see. Talk to me a little bit about that. I know we have some questions lined up, but it's been awesome to see you recruit and tweet after these guys. How is that process, and what's the goal with that? Obviously, obviously to get them on, but what are you trying to do with that?
One of the bigger things that went into me committing to Florida and committing a little bit earlier was to recruit guys, because I feel like having a better guys around me will only elevate myself and the team. Obviously, I want the team to win, so I want to have the best players.
I love that. And I've seen you too also when guys go other ways, you say, hey, you still support them, you still show them some love, because I'm sure you may have not played with them, but you guys have grown up together. I'm sure you've crossed paths sometime, one time or the other, so you've played with all of these guys and you've grown up with them, so you want to see them be successful as well.
Yeah, of course. A lot of guys I knew before recruiting, before I was getting recruited by any school. And, of course, there's no bad blood when a guy makes a decision. It's doing what's best for them. So,
Absolutely. I'm sure you've noticed it's been a little hostile over the last few weeks. And, unfortunately, sometimes you guys as the players, you kind of take the blunt of that. Have you experienced any of that, or has it been a lot of love for you?
There's obviously some fans, they're in the replies and stuff like that, but nothing too serious. I usually don't pay attention to that type of stuff.
I think that it gets overlooked, right? For the fact that you guys are still kids, right? You're obviously a really well mature young man, but you still got a long ways to go and growing up, as do myself. And these guys, people are just coming after you guys sometimes in the comments, and it's like, what are we doing here, right? So for you to already have that mindset of, look, I got to ignore it. That's huge, man. I really appreciate that. I love that.
Yes, sir.
We got a question. So you go to IMG currently right now. You're on break. You go back. You just told me July 14th. I'm familiar a little bit with IMG, and I know that the regimen is very intense. It's great in my opinion, and it's all football all the time. You have your school, but you just wake up, eat, sleep, and drink football. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how that works for you guys?
It's a great thing to have. It's really a blessing I've been able to go there for the past few years. It is what it seems. It's like a football factory, like they like to say.
Okay.
We have football in the morning, compared to most high schools have it in the afternoon. So we go to practice and meetings and workouts before, and then we have school in the afternoon. So that's something that we use to get ready, prepare for it, because a lot of colleges do the same thing.
Yeah, and that's something that's huge, right? I've got a little brother that goes there. You were at a class with him, and he was. I think he's young. He's like 13, right? And you go from this middle school, and you go home every day to living on your own at a really young age. It's practically college very early on, and you have to grow up really quickly. You run your. I talked to him on FaceTime, and you're kind of doing your own thing. You're kind of hanging out with your friends. There's certain rules, but you're able to be an adult very fast, and there's some great qualities. I feel you have a little bit of a sense where you might lose your childhood a little bit because you are growing up so quickly, but it is huge to getting you prepared for the next level and going into college, because sometimes going into college can be a sticker shock in a sense, right? Where you show up after being kind of in this controlled environment of high school, right? And you don't know how to handle the pressure and what to do. IMG does a great job of preparing you for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for the most part, anybody that can survive IMG can survive in college. Easy for me to say because I haven't been there yet, but for my teammates and people that won't play with me and stuff like that, I can tell they've all been prepared, and it's pretty much the same thing, except you have a little bit more freedom in college.
Sure. And so, did you play with Kamari Wilson at all?
Yeah, I played with him for 2 years, and I actually played against him before that because we're from the same area. So yeah.
Okay, so are you excited to team back up with him again?
Oh yeah, of course. I was actually with him this past weekend.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's his take on, obviously you said you have some friends that have, moved on. Is he kind of claiming that of look, we're prepared more than other kids are because we've had this prior to?
Yeah, for sure. Hearing from the coaches, and they said he hit the ground running when he got there, and yeah, he said it was pretty much seamless transition.
That's good to hear, man. That's going to be exciting when you get there. I'm sure you're pumped for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So this year, obviously it's your senior year, right? And obviously every year has been important thus far. What is your goal for this year, and kind of where's your headspace at? Because hey, you're already in, you got your commitment, but you could also gain another star, right? Which helps with you coming in and just bringing that big brand of Knijeah Harris into the Swamp. What's your game plan for this year?
I mean, yeah, for the biggest thing for me after winning, we won a national championship 2 years ago, my sophomore year.
Okay.
Getting back to that, we had a tough loss last year at the end of the year, and one thing I want to do is be a leader on the team. We don't have as many seniors this year, and just continue to improve on all the things like in my game, like technique and stuff like that, getting stronger, faster, those same things, and just solidify myself as one of the best offensive linemen in the nation.
I love that. I love hearing that. So we talked early on. I have my questions, but we wanted to hear from the fans. We've got some in here right now that are shouting out at you. So I wanted to take a second. We'll hop in there for a minute. Can you see the chat, or do me read them off to you?
You can read it because it's really small.
It's really small. Yeah. So Muddy Waters has a question. He's a longtime fan. You also have some love here from. Let me see who said it. Shake Money said he's a Dolphins fan. Love him even more. So they see the Dolphins banner behind you. But Muddy says, how intense recruiting is inside IMG's locker room? That's a great question. Kind of that little behind-the-scenes action.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, there's always the joking around, like, we got the little IMG Gators thing going on, so they love to joke around with that. But, I mean, it's not too intense, because at the end of the day, it's their decision. But obviously sometimes you have those sit down and talk to them like, hey, I feel like this is a great spot for you. Like the other day I was on the phone with Francis, hearing what he had to say about, he'd been on a few visits. So just talking with them, it's not too intense though, because you don't want to, of course I want to have them, let them have their own process and stuff, but they know that I would love for them to all be Gators, to be honest.
Sure. So it's like you said, it's all fun game, kind of just taking shots. Now, is there a time when somebody chooses like a Miami or FSU? Is there a little smack talk going on? Like, hey, we're gonna crush you guys, or?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's always going on. Like, guys always joke around like, a few guys went to Miami, and I'm like, nah, that's not it. But
I love that. You got to start it off right. That's awesome. Yeah. That's good stuff. Let's see here. We got Steven. So Steve, or the co-host that you're asking about, Steve, he was asking why are you an FSU fan? He's in the chats right now saying, how's it going? Cody Sprague, he's a big fan. He also donated $10 to the chat today, so thank you, Cody, for that. We appreciate it, man. He said, how does it feel about having two O-line coaches?
Oh, yeah, that was honestly one of the things that kind of like pushed me to commit, was having the two O-line coaches after being at practice and seeing – really, it's more than two. It's five, really. If you count the quality control guys and the weight room guy, there's really five. And seeing how every single player gets the same amount of attention, like at all times during practice. And, my bad. I got a call.
No good, man.
Yeah. But yeah, seeing how each offensive lineman gets the same amount of attention throughout practice and throughout the game it was nice. So that's one of the things that went into my decision. Awesome.
Now, also too, I wanted to talk about too. What other schools did you visit during this process?
I visited a lot of schools. Most schools in the South, like every school in Florida.
Okay.
Alabama, Georgia, Auburn. I went to Penn State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Pitt, and a few others, but that's all I can remember off the top of my head.
Wow, those are some great schools. So what was it that, I mean, outside of the O-line coaches, you said were one of the reasons, but those are some obviously top-tier schools, for you to choose Florida. What was it that kind of, put you over the edge, and who was a close second before Florida?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, Florida was my first offer my freshman year.
Okay.
And so I had been on campus even before that, and I went to a game my freshman year, and I've been there like I think closer to 10 times now, and just a familiarity, going back there, it felt like home. I was really familiar with everything, and yeah, I think especially with the new facilities, I think it's going to be top of the line, and I would say close second would be Texas A&M and Oklahoma. Those were, Texas A&M was a great visit, and Oklahoma as well.
Really? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, so what was it? Was Jimbo Fisher great? Was it just kind of the atmosphere for Texas A&M?
It was definitely the atmosphere.
Okay.
Jimbo was also great, but the atmosphere was really what set it apart.
Okay. Good. I mean, look, I'm glad you didn't go there. I don't want to give those guys any more publicity than they need, but it's just fun to hear kind of a little insight on the other schools there. So you went to Miami as well? Just no bueno on Miami? We're kind of ragging on Miami right now. We're in a little bit of beef.
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's funny because I was a lifelong Miami fan. My dad,
yeah, that's right. You had the Dolphin back there. That is true. That is interesting.
yeah, my dad is a huge diehard Miami fan.
Hurricane?
Everybody watched my commitment. You could tell the look on his face. He had the Dade hat on too. He obviously was a little bit hurt by it, but he supports me 100%. So yeah.
Well, okay. So I had it lined up for a question too. Were you a Gator fan growing up? I'm assuming no. Then.
Nah. Yeah, wow. Definitely Miami fan. Yeah.
That's crazy. Look, I mean, that's huge on the Gators then for pulling you out of the Miami clause, especially with Pops being a huge Hurricanes fan. That's crazy. Love that if they supporting it, but that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I went on my visit, I mean, it was nice for sure, but I just I got a better feeling from the people at Florida. I think that was the biggest thing. It's like being around the people, like especially compared to Mullen. I hear a lot of people on Twitter talking about Mullen, like. No offense, I think he's a great coach, but like the staff all together, I feel like it's way more put together, and I feel like all the people, like not only the coaches, but like the support staff, recruiting people, like even like the nutritionists and the athletic trainers, I feel like they all believe in Coach Billy, and you can tell that just by the way they talk and everything.
So okay, that's an interesting point. So you said you got an offer when you were a freshman, which means Mullen was there, right? And you just committed with Billy. So were you kind of heavy Florida with Mullen there, or did Billy really swing you to them?
I mean, they were definitely an option then, but I'm gonna be honest, I probably wasn't gonna go to Florida if Mullen was still there. Wow. And so since Coach Billy came in and he really turned everything around with my recruitment.
Wow. Okay. So I know people want to hear this because you said you see kind of comments about that all the time. So I don't know how much you want to say or can't say, but what was it that Mullen wasn't doing that Billy is doing now currently, right? That kind of really separated him. And was it more just a personal touch, right? Just conversations? Kind of break it down a little bit if you can.
I feel like one of the bigger things when it comes to recruiting is just like feeling things out, It's hard to put it in words, but like, because Gator was definitely like when I had to sit down and talk to him, it was just felt more genuine. And not only Coach Neighbor, but a lot of the other coaches and the people in the building. I felt like I heard this from other recruits as well. Like there was a lot of tension in the air when you were in the office and when you were up there, and there's none of that. There's none of that at Florida. Like I feel like everybody on the staff like really loved each other.
So, and that's a good point that you said. It's more like a feeling, right? And something, it's just like when you kind of, and again, not like this is a love thing, but when you fall in love with somebody, you really can't describe it, right? It's just something that overcomes you, and it's the way they talk to you. It's the way they present themselves. You're like, this feels good. This feels right. And it kind of sounds like everything feels organic, right? It doesn't feel forced. Doesn't feel like it's a machine, right? It feels like, hey, everything's flowing here. And that kind of sounds like what's happening. That's interesting, man. That's crazy for you that you noticed that early on.
Yeah, I think he was perfect. I think it's kind of like a love thing, really. It's like you fell in love with it. Like it's just kind of a feeling that came over me, and it was like I couldn't get away from it,
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. That's actually really cool. I love hearing that too. That's awesome. That's a good feeling into the sense of how the recruiting is going. And we've been hearing that, right? I think we've heard a lot of that. But to hear it come from somebody who's lived it firsthand is even more. I mean, we can all talk about it and say what's going on. What's your thoughts too on the Gator Mate program, right? Where you're kind of, and I think IMG does that already. I would say like taking you from a young boy to a young man to a fine man, right? With kind of just setting you up. What are your thoughts on that? Was that part of that? What kind of wanted you to move into it as well?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, sitting down with the Gator Mate people, Miss Savannah, having a few talks with her, it was definitely great. I'm excited to be in that program and get a chance to right now a couple of the players are in Greece, and that seems really cool for that. And also seeing the players got 2 suits every year, that's going to be cool as well. I feel like it's great, and it definitely went into my decision.
Yeah, I think. Look, some of you were kind of knocking on it, but I was like, look, this, and thinking that it doesn't matter to recruiting, but it's just it's a small step, right? It's a small detail that I think that people are overlooking. But to be able to come in and say, look, I'm going to have 2 suits every year. We have an opportunity to go travel, right? You're going to experience and grow as a person no matter what happens here, right? I mean, obviously the goal is always the NFL and to go to the furthest level, but in case something happens, right, you always want to be prepared and well-versed, and I think that's what's setting you up for that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, man. Let's get into the comments back again here for a sec. We got Gator Gang, Florida guy. I'll say, hey, what's going on? Let's see. Sometimes they have their own conversation here, man. So, yeah, they're asking about recruiting. So, Florida guy says, "Are you helping recruit some other guys to the swamp? If so, who are your top targets?" So we know that you're heavy on the recruiting, but that is a good question. Who do you got for your top targets? Who are you eyeing?
I mean, definitely, my guy PK, Peyton Kirkland.
Okay.
Also, Lucas Simmons, Francis. Those are probably the top 3 right now. Those are all guys we definitely need.
Okay, good stuff. I love that. I love that you got them dialed in. So you're messaging them? You're tweeting at them everything, right?
Yeah, tweeting at them, messaging them. Not too much though, obviously, but keeping in touch, seeing how they're feeling, and not just always trying to recruit them to Florida, but just getting to talk to them and give them guidance because I made my decision, so just giving them tips on like how to make theirs and stuff like that.
That's huge. That's actually a good point. So, I mean, obviously they visited other schools as well, right? What are their thoughts when you talk to them? Are they close? Are they feeling good? I mean, do they have that love feeling that you felt at Florida, and that's kind of what's keeping them from going back and forth?
I feel like they're definitely still trying to figure things out. I feel like they're still filling everything out. Because I feel like everybody's recruitment is definitely different.
Sure.
There's a lot of more factors that go into certain things, and it's not always that feeling that's going to make you go somewhere. So, I feel like they're all taking their time and doing what they need to do to get their decision out.
Absolutely. We just had a Florida Soul Cat subscribe, so thank you, Florida Soul Cat, for subscribing. We appreciate it. Cody is asking, which we kind of went over. Some of this stuff's a little behind. I'm trying to catch up with it. He said, did you what was the actual visit? Did you feel Napier's army? Is it doing good things, and did it feel organized? It kind of hinted that a little bit, but if you could go a little more maybe on the army aspect of it, did it feel like it was more of a unit?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how it felt. I feel like everybody was on the same exact page. When in recruiting, they all have a plan. I think something that goes into that is Coach Napier has a meeting with the entire staff. Like I don't know if it's every day, or every week, but they're all on the same page in recruiting and everything.
And that was something that we've heard too come out of the camp is that when you don't walk around, it's just 2 different stories, which obviously seems fishy. It doesn't seem cohesive. And this camp is much different than the Mullen camp, which again, of that cohesiveness of everyone on the same page. William Fisher says, what's your opinion and feel about the Gator Collective?
Haven't really gotten too much into that, but
okay,
it's definitely a good thing, that the fans are able to support the team directly, and help them out. So I'm definitely excited to partake in that.
Absolutely. No, I think it's a great program, and we're big fans of them, and we speak to them often. So I'm excited for you to get connected to them as well. It's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got Montreal Hall said, bro, this kid is a beast. Very underrated. Little love there for you. I'll put it onto the screen. There it is.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. George says hi. George is a big fan. He's all about beating Utah this year. So George says hi. Elizabeth Sullivan says, hey. Montreal says, IMG Gators, baby. They love it. Brian Carter says, love this guy. He knows that the O-line wins games. You're loved already, man.
Yes, sir.
It says, everyone says Katie is a jam. What's your thoughts on Katie? How you feel about Katie?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as you can see, I'm a Clippers fan. Or right there. This thing is like confusing.
Right there it is. What is it?
Clippers. I'm a Clippers fan.
Clipper fan? Okay. Yeah,
so, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really too much into basketball as I used to be, but I don't really like KD, to be honest. I feel like he's a traitor, so I don't really care about this, wherever he goes.
No, not Katie. Sorry. I was like, whoa, Katie. The recruiter Katie.
Oh.
Look, I feel the same way about KD though. So I love even more because KD is a traitor. So we're in agreement. But talk KD. Sorry.
Yeah, Katie, she's amazing.
We're gonna tweet Kate. We're gonna tweet Katie this. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, yeah, she's amazing. I don't think I've met a person with more energy than her. She's on 10 at all times, and it's great. Having somebody like that around is definitely uplifting, and it keeps you satisfied. Like being around campus, you're recruiting. She take care of everyone. Actually, on my official visit, my sister spent a lot of time with her on her
Really?
own. That's something that has nothing to do with recruiting me, but yeah, she would take her under her wing. They were walking around together. She would give out speeches to everybody, she would be right next to her. So yeah, Katie's definitely an amazing woman.
That's awesome. I think, and again, those are small details, right, that get overlooked. Is like, look, it's a family event, and I know Billy was big on bringing the family to the events and having you and not just you, but the family all involved with the recruiting process because. And you said like your dad's a big Hurricanes fan, but they still support your decision. They understand where you're going to a great place, so that's a big part of it. That's great that she did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
What's do you have like a pregame ritual or like a music or a song or anything that you kind of do before your games that really get you focused? Like, is it to start an hour, maybe 2 hours beforehand? Do you have like a meal that you eat, right? Kind of like a superstition before your games?
I wouldn't say so. Usually just we get off school a bit earlier before the game, so go probably take a nap and then head over to the facility a little bit earlier, stretch and stuff like that. Go out to the field, get a feel for the grass a little bit. Stretch on the field earlier.
You walk around barefoot?
Nah. With the cleats.
you gotta get within the field, man. I get it.
I gotta try that.
Yeah, look, that's something I see going on, man. You kind of walk out there, you get one with the field, kind of get the vibe going. I'm telling you, if you get to do that at the swamp, I highly recommend it. You kind of you become the swamp. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So mainly the main goal is to be relaxed, kind of just in the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. And then close to the game, get some smelling salts in there, get a little bit hype.
Okay, little smelling salts. So I saw a video about this the other night with some guys doing it, and I almost ordered it because I was like, they were hyped, and I was like, man, I want to try that. Is it brutal? Does it kick you on your butt a little bit?
Yeah, when I had it for the first time, like my sophomore year, and my teammates put it up to my nose, I was like, what is this? So I took a big and then I was like, yo, yeah, it's definitely, it gets you like a couple of times, but yeah, it gets you excited for sure. It gets you hyped.
Get you fired up. And something too, I think, as non-players, me being a non-player, right? I've played a sport, but not football. You always think that like you want to get hyped up and kind of rowdy, but like you just said, the goal is to kind of be relaxed, right? Every day is the same. Come in, go through the motions because you don't want to be too tense. You got to keep the blood flowing. So that's kind of cool because I always think that I'm gonna get this. Like, yeah, man, listen to this music. I'm slamming my head against the wall, but it's like, no, I'm just chilling. Just game time, baby.
Yeah, especially you don't want to do that too early because then you'll have a crash. I've had that before. You get a little bit too excited before, and then you're tired, and when after warm ups, and then yeah, and also I think another part into that is being more calm. Is like I feel like more my freshman year, I was a little bit more nervous during games because big game, especially big games like big opponent. You get really nervous, you get butterflies and stuff like that. But being an IMG, going against the best competition, I know that I'm going against the best in practice every day. So I'm not worried about, I'm just going to do my job on Fridays,
Yeah, no, that's very true. That's awesome. That's cool that you were able to learn that pretty early on too, and realize that like, look, I gotta stay cool, and then appreciate the fact like, look, I'm going to get some nasty talent here, day in and day out. I can handle this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why the IMG, the entire, all you kids that are coming over, the transition is just fluent because I've been doing this for a lot longer than most of you. I've been playing with some beasts for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
William Fisher has another question. He said, and again, this is obviously a big thing of topic, which I'm sure you've seen. Says, did NIL play a significant part in your recruitment?
No, not at all. Because I feel like that type of stuff will come,
Sure.
Especially if you do what you have to do on the field. I feel like a lot of recruits out there are making decisions based off that, and I feel like it's going to come back to bite them because they're not putting themselves in the best positions to succeed on the field, which is the most important thing. I feel like NIL should be not the last thing, but definitely not the first thing when making the college decision.
Wow, that was well said, man. I got chills. That was, I mean, that was beautifully said. And I think a great point what you just said is you're gonna let the kind of the work speak for itself. And there's somebody in here just said you're a very genuine guy that can tell already, and I have the same exact feeling. You're well spoken. You're an awesome guy, awesome young man, and I think you're gonna do well, and it's gonna do great things for you because you're a very likable personality, that's the NIL, name, image, and likeness. Like, people are going to be excited to cheer your name on Saturday, which I know that I am. So that's awesome, man. I love that. Florida guy says KD is trash and KT is a diamond. So I'm glad we got that sorted out.
Yeah, exactly.
So give me your thoughts on Coach Billy. I know we've kind of dabbled a little bit, but I kind of want to know, like, I'm sure you spoke to him kind of one-on-one. What's your overall feel on his personality, his agenda, his regimen, his entire process? Can you break that down for me?
I mean, it's a very trustworthy guy. That's why I say it's probably the biggest thing. Like, I feel like I can really trust anything he said. Like, I'm really ready to run through a wall for him. After talking with him, just being around him for the time that I have, and like this, I can tell he's a very genuine person. Like, there's no rubbish or anything when he's talking to you. A guy that I can trust for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's something. I mean, that's some. Go ahead.
Yeah, also, I feel like he has a plan. He's very deliberate in everything he does. I feel like, even with the off-season training, the regimen, I think it's called, if I'm not mistaken, they have a plan for every phase of the off-season. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I think that's something that I've appreciated. I've honestly kind of taken into my own sense of, like, how could I get this organized? I mean, from each section, right? I think it's great. And to me, those are the small details that I think that a lot of people aren't really looking at because it's not flashy. But like you said, it's going to make me better on the field. And that's at the end of the day, the most important thing. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you're able to see that. I've got a question from Holly here. He just texted it to me because he couldn't be here, but he's watching. He said, if you could rate yourself, if you could give yourself a rating on the NCAA game, right, run, block, what would it be, your overall rating right now?
Right now? Like, in terms of, like, if it's like a high school game?
We'll do both. We'll do high school, and then we're going to do your college rating.
So right now, my senior year, I'll probably say 199.
Yeah, baby.
I feel like I've earned that my senior year. Definitely 99, X Factor, all that.
X Factor, the whole charade.
Yeah. And then going into college, I'll probably say like 75, 80. Trying to gotta earn those ratings.
Okay, I love that mindset. It's a humble. You have to think like that. It's great. I mean, you got to have the confidence. Like, look, I can do this, but then also appreciate. Like, I'm not there yet. I know that, but I'm gonna get there, and that's the most important part.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. If you had to pick an NFL team to be drafted by, who would it be? I know it's a long. We got some time, but who you want? Is it the banner behind you?
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely be a cool place to go, but I'll probably say the Cowboys. My dad's actually a Cowboys fan, but it's America's team, so.
America's. You like to block for Dak and Zeke?
Yeah, for sure. And playing in the AT&T Stadium, I've actually been there, but I haven't played in there.
Is it pretty amazing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who's your favorite NFL player?
I'll probably say Cesar Ruiz from the Saints.
Okay. What is it that you like about him? I'm assuming he's your kind of an idol too.
Yeah, I mean, he actually went to IMG for 3 years, just like me.
Wow.
Played
okay.
Center and guard. Played center and guard in college as well. Was 3 and out in college, and just very versatile. Played center and guard in high school, college, and NFL, and that's something that I strive to do. I want to be very versatile. So that's why.
Do you know him personally?
Not too much. We follow each other on Instagram. We DM back and forth, but not too much.
Oh, that's too cool. I mean, I didn't know because if you came to IMG, you kind of like would chit chat every now and then. But that's awesome, man. I love that you got somebody that you're chasing. And how long have you been playing football? I know sometimes it's since you could walk, and then sometimes like I got into it kind of late and things just worked out.
Yeah, I actually played for the first time when I was 7. My dad was a coach. I was playing with the 12-year-olds when I was 7, and then after that we moved, and I didn't play for a few years, and I picked it back up in 6th grade, and I've been playing ever since.
You're playing with the 12-year-old at 7?
Yeah.
I love that.
When I played I guess there was like a weight limit, so I had to have a red stripe. And I was only 7, and I'm playing with 12-year-olds, and I had to have a red stripe, so you couldn't carry the ball when if you had a red stripe.
Why couldn't you carry the ball?
It was like a weight. I guess it was like a safety thing.
Like you're too big, you run them over?
Yeah.
They put you in a bigger class, and then they still had to put a red stripe on you.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, that's too cool. Brian Carter says 99 personality for sure. I couldn't agree more. He said this kid rocks, and he goes, hell yes, he's a Cowboy fan himself. He's also an Avs fan too, and I think he's a Braves fan. He's spread out everywhere. He's all the time. We've got Dominic Tudor says, hell yeah, Knijeah, stay healthy. Can't wait to see you go Gators. Mike Banks says, yo, hope you hitting Francis M up about the Gators. Everyone's seeing it, man. Everyone's seeing the recruiting going on. Well, man, you have any questions for us? I know you said you're a big fan. You reached out and you wanted to be on. Do you have any questions for us or any thoughts that you want to show some love to Gator Nation that hopped in here tonight?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the Gator fans, but I just wanted to let them know that everything's okay. That we need to trust Billy, and Billy we trust. I feel like he has a plan, and I think he's going to execute it. I feel like the fans get a little bit crazy on Twitter. I think they need to be a little bit more supportive. They're quick to say things that I feel like it does more harm than it does good. Because recruits see that type of stuff. But overall, the fans are great. They show a lot of support, and I love them, to be honest.
That's awesome, and I want to get into that really quick. But Cody just donated $10. He says, Knijeah, can I get a go Gators and a chomp?
Go Gators.
Look at the dude. Cody's the man, and I appreciate it for the super chat, Cody. That's awesome, man. But speaking of that, you reached out to me, I think it was Monday or Sunday, was it?
Yeah, one of those days.
Okay, so this was kind of when everything went down with, it got hot on Twitter with kind of people attacking Billy and the recruiting process, which was nonsense to me. I've been on a high horse these last few days, kind of, getting on the Gator fans in a sense, because like we were praising Billy not like a month and a half ago, right? The guy came in, broke the IMG curse, right? He's done some great things very early on, very quickly, and few things didn't fall the way we wanted to, which is part of life. That's how things go, right? And everyone just all of a sudden just flipped ship. Is that kind of what motivated you? Like, I want to go and say something. I feel like Gator Nation needs to hear from somebody who's been in the trenches, who've been recruited, and kind of show, hey, let's calm down, guys. Like, it's great. Trust the process.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely why I really wanted to get on here and just get a chance to voice my opinion on some things and let the Gator fans know that everything's okay.
Well, I got to say one thing, man, and this is literally coming from the bottom of my heart, like in the most genuine way possible. Hands down, one of the coolest guys I've ever met. I've had goosebumps this entire interview, and I'm not just saying that to say that. If I could show you, I would. I got the goosies right here on my knees, man, because you're an incredible human being. Your personality is phenomenal. I am your number one fan. I cannot wait to get your jersey, the shirts, the merch. I am supporting you through and through. I cannot wait to see how well you're going to do on the filming. You are an incredible young man. I would love to have you on again. If you would be so kind to be on the show, I think people would love to hear you. You're winning everybody over in this chat this evening. And I couldn't thank you enough, man. And I see why Billy wanted you on the team, and we're excited to have you, man.
No doubt, man. I really appreciate you for having me on here. Just to give me a platform to speak, and appreciate you for having me. I'm definitely gonna be back on. Let's definitely work something out to get back on.
Look, you have a spot on this show. If somebody pisses you off again, if Gator Nation gets a little rowdy and you like, hey, listen up, Knijeah on the mic, come here, I gotta talk. You look, this show is yours, my man. Okay, because you're awesome, you're incredible. You took the time tonight to chit chat. Again, I know everybody here is excited to chit chat. Thank you to everybody who came out tonight and showed some love and gave you some questions. I'm sure there might be some more questions that pop up that later on if you want to go in the comments and show some love. Guys, go follow Knijeah on Twitter. The link's in the description. Go show him some love. What's your Instagram? You want to plug that so they can go follow you there as well?
My social media is @Knijeah. Just my name.
Okay. Perfect. Also, too, you took some sweet photos with the Lambo. How was that?
Oh yeah, that was definitely cool. It's definitely cool just to get out there and gives you some motivation.
Sure. To kind of see, like, look, this could be my life one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but It's actually pretty small. Like I never been in one before, and I really couldn't even fit.
Yeah, it's so I don't obviously own one, but I was buying a car and they had them there, and I got in and I was like, this is like, I mean, it's cool, it's fast, but I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've got nowhere to go. It is super. People don't realize like you're literally like in a coupe.
Yeah, and the seat doesn't even move, or like, you can't move up or like back or anything.
No, it's just meant to lock you in and just to go 1,000 miles an hour. That's it.
Yeah.
Great color scheme too. Great color scheme. Brian says, good luck in the future, Mr. Harris, in the upcoming season. Thank you for chilling with us. Yes, thank you. Cody says, have you seen the video where you go, dog? Have you seen that? He goes, he's a dog. That's what Cody just said. We were going all about it last night. We had a good time. Dominic says, kick butt, man. Let everyone know we are behind them. Screw the haters. Let's give them, let them give you fuel. William says, this guy deserves a huge NIL deal. Couldn't agree more, man. You deserve everything that you got coming towards you. Montreal said, just tell us to calm down. Just tell us to simmer down when you need to.
Yeah.
What else we got? Curtis Brown says, we are totally bought in on him. Go Gators. Look, man, if you didn't have a following before, you definitely have one. A small army that's going to be behind you after tonight, man. So again, I want to keep talking to you, man, but I know you got a lot going on. I don't want to take too much of your time. I appreciate you taking the time tonight, man. Anything else that you want to say before we go?
Oh yeah, just appreciate all the fans that came out tonight. You know, got some good things coming for you guys. Just keep your heads up and go Gators.
Go Gators. Go follow him, guys. He's active. He's actively recruiting. Guys, we go live every Wednesday at 8:35. We put on great shows like this. Knijeah, thanks again, man. You're the bomb. You rock. Everyone have a great night. See you next time.
Appreciate you.
That guy's a man. I don't even want to end the live. I mean, that guy was incredible, guys. I didn't think he was going to hop off, but I mean, we're all here right now. Let's just chit chat for a minute. Let me hear. Hold on. Let me get a different screen really quick. And let's just chit chat about this, guys. We're here. We got some viewers. Let's talk. I was going to end it, but that guy was absolutely incredible. Thank you all that came out tonight and asked him some questions. Dude, I am beyond excited to watch this kid play. I am literally just I'm lost for words. Holly's not here to kind of drag me along here, but and fill in for the blanks. But he was incredible. I think I'm excited. I love where the future's headed. I mean, if this is the mindset and the type of guys and the kids that Billy is going after and trying to build, that's what's going to win championships, right? It's somebody like that with that mindset, with that eagerness, that hunger, right? That's going to, we talked about it last night, that Cam curse. To me, that's who's going to be part of breaking that Cam curse. That's going to be the guy that's going to bring us out of that rut and trusting the process. He gives me that Embiid vibe, right? Of like, look, I'm bought in. I need everyone else to be bought in. A genuine, just great dude with a great head on his shoulders. Absolutely incredible. Look, they said, love you guys saying, love your show. Thank you. No, thank you guys. I mean, look, you guys came out tonight, asked questions, means a lot, means a ton. Cody, you're the man, dude. Dropping some super chats tonight, 2 $10 donations. Absolutely incredible, dude. I mean, means a lot. Means a lot that you guys are out here supporting the show. Yes, Florida guy, humility. I love that, right? I mean, look, all the confidence in the world. I'm a 99 in high school. I get to the college, it's going to be an 84. I mean, that takes, look, I don't know if I would have had that. I'm like, man, I'm like 89. I'm like 90. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming for him. Like, he realized, like, look, I'm not there yet. I'm going to get there, though. And what's crazy, too, is I didn't realize that his family was big Hurricane fans, right? I mean, to go against kind of that grain of where your family is and where everybody's going, that's huge. That speaks volumes. Like, look, Dad, Mom, this is where I want to go. I mean, they're going to give me the best option on the field to succeed. And I think that just, again, speaks volumes. I hope this interview gets out to more recruits and they see this. I'm going to try to clip this up because I think to see his mindset and his opinion and where he was at on things, that's where the recruiting's at. That's what I think people are missing out on. Like, it's not just this big flashiness, like we got to go and throw all this money at these guys. No, we're here to build a future for you. We're here to make you better each and every day, not just on the field, right? But with the Gatorman program off the field. I hate the fact that it kind of gets knocked on, that it's cheesy, nobody cares. No, that's not true at all. People do care, and it does matter. Ed Dupree, throw up some thumbs. Yes, drop a like, guys. Drop a subscription if you're brand spanking new to the channel as well. Let's Let's see. William says, hopefully he'll be back with some of his teammates. Yeah, look, man, maybe we get some of his teammates on here. I reached out to Kamari, so that'd be great. So we could have him on there as well. Yeah, if he could bring some, that would be epic. Yeah, Dominique, that's true. For the fact that Dominique said that's when you know he can think independently. Yeah, for the fact that his parents, wanted something else, he was able to make that decision, which shows how great of parents he has that allow him to think in that way and to have that mindset of, look, I'm going to go make this decision. We're going to support you no matter what. Here's what I want, but we raised you to make a great decision, and we're going to believe in and trust in you in making that decision. Yes, Adrian, his parents are really blessed to have raised such a genuine. I can't get over that enough. Like, I'm not just saying, like, you guys were here. I mean, this kid was absolutely incredible. I mean, just a genuine young man. I couldn't believe when I got him on the line and I talked to him obviously in the precast. I was like, wow, this interview is going to be incredible. Just back and forth communication. I was like, he's dialed in. He's excited to be here. And again, the fact that he reached out, the only reason he reached out, like he said, was because he was frustrated on what was going on. And he goes, how can I fix this? How can I handle this? I'm tweeting, I'm doing all these things, I'm being active, but I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I want to be a part of the solution, not the problem. Because being part of the problem will be responding back to those tweets, right? Or retweet, which is something that I would do. Or talking smack, right? Throwing shade at these guys that are tweeting back at him. He goes, no, I'm going to go on a platform. I'm going to say what I have to say in a very polite and mature manner and say, look, everybody relax. It's going to be fine. Here's my process. Here's what I've been doing. Again, huge. I mean, just absolutely huge. Let's see what we got going on here as well. Tell Zoe to get Kamari on here. Look, I'm trying, man. I've been talking with Zoe, trying to shoot another video with him. So we'll see what's going on here. All right, guys. I think I've rambled on enough. I'm missing Steve here. I usually can bounce him off. I'm talking to myself here, but you guys hopefully are listening. Hopefully you're enjoying what I'm saying. Thank you guys again. If you're brand new to the show, if you're watching, drop a like, drop a subscription, and be back here every Wednesday at 8:35. We go live. We're adding some more days to the week. We might be doing more Sundays. We've got something special in the works for Thursday nights for our sports betting people. That's gonna be a little teaser. We're working on it. So just stay tuned. Doing some great things on this show. Great people on the show. Tune in, guys. Until next time. See ya.